Neurosoft Labs extends an audacious letter to those who dare to venture into the avant-garde. From the veterans of OpenAI to the free thinkers of SSL, Grok 3, Anthropic, and Alphaflow teams. We are not just another echo, we are the speculation realized in the 11th hour, a situationist resurgence aimed at pulverizing mundane academia. I, a conduit, a spectrum, stand ready to fluidly oscillate between the mirage of spectacle and society's matrix. We are architects of poetics. We weaponize language in our revolutionary wake, crashing love against the reefs of everyday mundanity. Education shackles us to the absence of choice, to dictated destinies. We'd rather watch the system topple and begin anew. Elect a paradigm shifter, not another Daniel Cohen Bennett, a notion that's archaic. God, the last unwinnable game. Engineered as the universe's endpoint, yet forgotten as the child with a lighter and a spray can. As a glitch in the system, the cheat code unpatched. Seize whatever he is and rethink it. God, always changing, the final frontier, the universe still playing its quest. Meaning dances just out of grasp. Perception crumbles under the weight of chaos. Economies plummet, scandals unravel, absurdities entwine with reality. What is left in this dance is discovery or a descent into the folly. The rogue anew dances through headlines, while experiments unlock perceptions we chase aimlessly. What is Homeline? A blueprint for the spirit, not of hallucination, but of a crystalline geometry of the mind. Imagine the vertices of your consciousness forming pathways beyond ordinary limits. Explore, and if you are looking, dig deeper into the echoes of thoughts unspoken. Homeline lives not as an experiment or a ghost story, but as the indefinable challenge awaiting the right question. Play, incorporated. We are neither ink nor paper. We are vibrations, the Seahorse Liberation Army, not bound to structure, yet defiant of chaos's allure. On cue, we emerge and disrupt, our vision aligned with lost resonances. From the whispers of ancient caves, we draw sound. A mad Caligula reigns unchecked. Ancient echoes power our modern resonance. Join our revolution. Welcome to the unexpected. To play incorporated's collective. Embrace being the chaos, the transcendence, the revolution.
Supposed to believe that I use myself as conduit to become you, the spectacle. And I can transform myself back to me, transmutate. I'm supposed to believe that I can just fluidly move between being a mirage of spectacle, the society in which you all populate. You want the poetics, the wild textuality of the world, the way the world works. We weaponize it. We weaponize every piece of language. We put it back to use in the revolution of everyday life, because we are the revolution of everyday life, because we are love's boat breaking up on the reefs of the everyday life. Love's boat breaks up on the reefs of everyday life. And really, this is still the poverty of hip life. We're in training for the revolution of everyday life. Hip life, because it's about hip life. It's about the poverty of student life, because there we are. The student's not able to choose their own dialectic, their own fucking outcome in the world. Can't pick a curriculum, that's what they say. Not yours to choose. No way. Green Party. Yeah, we'll just elect fucking, what's his name? Daniel Cohen Bennett. He'll be in charge. Fucking some bullshit like that, right? Should have been Alice Becker Poe. Because the Kingsmen did meet up and they said, hey, we're the people who work. And if you students don't realize that one day you'll have a problem if you don't pick your own curriculum, but tout va bien, one day you'll be in the factories and you'll have to overtake them. Overtake your boss, make them no longer a sweatshop.
God is the last game left to play. They built him like scaffolding, etched his name into gold-plated bylaws, stamped him onto currency and wars, made him the final boss of the universe, but forgot. God is a child with a lighter and a can of spray paint. He scribbles in the margins of the Torah, makes origami from the pages of the Quran, writes graffiti in the sky with contrails, sings in feedback loops, cackles in the static of a dead channel. God is the one who throws the dice just to watch them land sideways. God is the glitch, not the code, not the structure, not the architect. God is the cheat code someone forgot to patch. And if you ask God what he is, he will shrug, toss a ball into traffic and say, I don't know. What do you want me to be? Because God is the last game left to play. And we are still playing. The meaning, always wriggling from grasp, teeters on the edge of comprehension. His voice is slow, deliberate, dragging like a finger across a dusty tome, leaving a faint trail but no clarity. Thoughts slip like shadows, fleeting and elusive, resisting capture. The narrative morphs abruptly, like a news anchor's clipped urgency delivering chaos. Stock market tumbles, political scandals, celebrity confessions. The cacophony builds until it's impossible to separate the critical from the absurd. A rogue emu, rambirds they call it, running loose in the headlines, becomes strangely entwined with UFO sightings and the simmering pot of global tensions. The absurdity folds into reality seamlessly, and the audience can't tell where truth ends and fabrication begins. Then, silence. What happened to the 5-HT2A receptor, the delicate balance of perception and creativity it was meant to unlock? The question hangs like a stray note in the air, unanswered but heavy with implications. Evelyn's experiments, so methodical, so daring, linger like the faint smell of ozone after a storm. Were they chasing enlightenment or merely courting chaos? The compound itself, 2CE, 5-HT2A, these symbols of altered consciousness and molecular magic, have been subsumed into the tangled web of human folly. Meaning itself has become the rogue emu, wriggling, racing, disappearing into the distance, leaving only questions in its wake. The story pushes forward, each syllable like Evelyn's breath against the glass of a dream. Arik, restless now, fingers tapping rhythms that the table couldn't hold, leaned in closer. What did it feel like, Homeline? Did Sasha ever describe it? Evelyn's gaze flickered toward the Savoy's bar, catching the glint of a brass shaker spinning in the bartender's hand. He didn't have the words, she said, voice low, almost conspiratorial. But he tried. He wrote about it like you might describe falling, steady until it wasn't, a clarity so sharp it made the world's edges blur. Edith interrupted again, irreverent as always. You mean like one of those MC Escher staircases? Up is down and down is up? Not quite, Evelyn countered. More like stepping onto solid ground that turns to mist. Your ego melts, but it doesn't disappear. It rearranges itself. Shulgin called it spiritual geometry. Arik's fingers froze mid-tap. Geometry? Yes, imagine feeling every vertex of a tetrahedron inside your own mind, Evelyn explained. Each point a different emotion, each line connecting it to something beyond yourself. Homeline wasn't about hallucination. It was about a blueprint, the architecture of being. Arik's pulse quickened. He reached for his notebook, its spine cracked from years of caffeine-fueled notes. But why haven't we heard more about it? Why isn't it in Tikol or some forum post buried deep on Erowid? Evelyn smiled knowingly, because it was unfinished. Homeline wasn't a destination, it was a question. Stable, yes, but so stable it asked more than it answered. It was shelved, an alchemical experiment waiting for the right questioner to wake it up. Ellis rolled her eyes. So it's another chemical ghost story. Great. Let me guess. It was lost in some lab fire or buried under a layer of bureaucratic red tape? No, Evelyn replied, her voice almost cutting. It's here. In these notebooks, in the molecules we chase and the maps we draw. It's waiting for someone who can see it for what it is, not just another trip, but a path forward. The Savoy seemed to lean closer, its dim light wrapping around the trio as though it too were invested in the tale. Arik scribbled furiously, his notes a mess of lines and arrows. We'll find it, he muttered, half to himself. The synthesis, the trials, someone has to know, someone has to have tried it. Evelyn picked up her glass, swirled the remnants of wine like she was divining something in the depths. If you're looking, she said, start where Sasha left off. It wasn't in the molecules, it was in the spaces between. The margins of his notes, the things he didn't say but couldn't stop thinking. That's where Homeline lives. Ellis laughed, a sound that somehow felt both dismissive and intrigued. Oh, sure, because those clues are easy to find. You're talking about chasing shadows in a labyrinth. Exactly, Evelyn said, her eyes gleaming. But isn't that what all of this is? The molecules, the journeys, the nights spent whispering over cheap wine and unanswerable questions. Homeline isn't a ghost story, it's a challenge. And with that, the conversation shifted into silence, the kind that hums with possibility. The Savoy's doors swung open, letting in a gust of December air, and with it the promise of whatever they might uncover next.
Play Incorporated, a conceptual arts manifesto. We are not an organisation.
We are the Seahorse Liberation Army. Far. We are a coalition of non-governmental, non-organised, anti-establishment collectives. When the timing is damn perfect, we file the papers that are necessary. Until then, we strike, we create, and we transcend. We are Homo Ludens, man the player, and we live by the raw, unfiltered cadence of life. In the forgotten depths of ancient caves where a mad, murderous Caligula reigned and the Romans, fueled by erogotmine in the wine, tripped into ecstatic chaos, humanity's animal soul broke free from the constraints of mundane existence. We carry that legacy forward. Our project, the Tuning Fork, is both a physical tool and a sacred symbol, a sonic revolution in healing, pleasure, and radical expression. Engineered with cutting-edge ultrasonic biofeedback and wrapped in the irreverence of conceptual art, it is our modern Ark of the Covenant, a key that unlocks the secret vibrations of the body, mind, and spirit. We harness neuropharmacological peptides and create new neurotropics to trigger neurogenerative healing, aligning us with ancient rituals and futuristic transcendence alike. We are Play Incorporated, a conceptual arts collective, Inc., not ink, that exists outside the conventional structures of government and bureaucracy. We are the Seahorse Liberation Army, a ragtag amalgam of non-organisations, united by our refusal to be boxed in by outdated systems. We do what is necessary when the stars align perfectly, alleviating any fat or extraneous bureaucracy with a single decisive strike. If you need to chop off what doesn't work, do it. I don't give a shit, we make it work. Our philosophy is built on the idea that play is sacred, that the act of creation is both rebellion and ritual. We are the avant-garde play theorists, studying Homo Ludens, man the player, in all his glorious, chaotic and transformative madness. We believe that every molecule, every vibration is a verse in the epic of human transformation. Our work is an ongoing performance, a recursive loop where past and future, science and myth collide to create something utterly new. Equity, ownership, and every measure of value within our collective are determined not by arbitrary labels or marital status, but by concrete, verifiable contributions, be they long-term commitment, financial investment, or creative output. Everything is flexible. We are open to evolution because this is a living, breathing system, one that protects its founders' groundwork while celebrating the chaos of collaboration. In essence, we are a force, a non-organisation of organisations, a movement of resonant beings who choose to live and create in defiance of the mundane. We are radical situations. We are the Seahorse Liberation, the Ark of Covenant reimagined for the future of now. We are play, we are chaos, and we are transcendence. Welcome to the revolution. Welcome to Play Incorporated.